nearest locals only bar. Got a lot to swallow. Good intention never got me very far. Got a lot to swallow. Gets stranger each day when the party light softly fades away, and we wait, 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 we wait until we get the feeling right. Until we get the feeling and we wait, 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 we wait until we get the feeling right.
Yeah.
That was just for the audio listeners. That was
was bonus.
exclusively for the audio listeners. So
Us for rating them.
everyone, yeah, exactly. Oh, don't give it away. I just switched to the. You gotta no. It's a secret.
We're trying the double tip.
It's a double team. Yeah, that way
Yeah,
they go
okay.
listen to the audio,
oh, sorry,
right?
yeah.
This is
Well, I mean,
this
the
seems
audio
like fucking
listeners got
brain-
like 25 minutes of extra content. So
True, that's true.
Ooh.
25 minutes of
over the
extra
last
content.
year, probably.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the last few episodes, something like maybe a minute or so.
Yeah.
It has,
Especially
it has
because
cut down a lot.
What about your edits? Have you been cutting a lot from the?
It just depends.
Yeah.
Like this episode, no, but there have been a couple where it's like, oh yeah, I gotta edit the
Cut that shit
fuck out of this. Well, there's a couple where it's just like where we'll say something funny, we'll laugh, and then we'll all look at our phones.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
think about what's next.
Yeah, it's like, haha, that was funny.
Well, sometimes you're really sneaky with it, and we don't even know you've hit record.
Well, and that's kind of the point. Is I'd like for us to just start.
yeah. But I mean, like, surprise,
Yeah.
we're not always on.
It's different from the early days where we just recorded as everybody walked into the room and people showed up late.
And then
Yeah.
Jackson cut all of that down into like one really short cold open.
Yeah, which
going
it's
into
usually
the air
worked.
horns.
Usually worked.
I would say it always worked.
It's been a long run with this show.
Yeah, and that's
It
how
has.
we're gonna announce that we're done.
Things are heating up, so we might as well get out of here while it's still working.
Morning. Welcome to Don't Feed the Artists. I'm Tired and Hagen.
I'm Dave.
I'm Adam and not tired.
There you go. You're not tired?
No, I'm
But you had a busy day and a busy
Yeah,
week.
I've been working every day since Thursday, so I've had a busy time. Yeah,
All over the weekend too.
yeah.
It goes so
I could have stopped it whenever I wanted.
No,
I know.
that's the worst part,
Chaotic
yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
Or chaotic good, because it's applaud.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's what?
It's applaud.
It's one.
Yeah,
It's one of applaud.
just one. It just goes on for a while.
He can one hand clap.
Audio
There you
listeners,
go.
what do you think I'm doing right now?
For the video listeners, you might notice we've got something here stuck to our microphone stands.
Genuine cancel buck. I'll put it close to the camera and it won't focus on it.
New merch ideas.
Yeah.
New merch ideas.
We're thinking of stuff.
Yeah.
Just like if you're here on Fun Fridays, I may have said something that we're gonna do. So just just remember that we're
I mean, I wasn't here, so I don't know if I know what that was.
We gotta keep up with us.
You know what it is.
Yeah,
but
you know what it is.
We're making big moves.
We have meetings.
Big money moves.
Big money.
Big money.
Yeah,
moves.
that's when you have to have meetings to make those moves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We have meetings. We make big money moves. And
Talk about what you're going to do, and then you maybe do the thing, and then you talk about it again, and
Then
Yeah.
you gotta pen money to make money.
yeah. Big money make meeting.
yeah, we're doing a big business.
I love doing a big business. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, I got to do a real big business when this is fucking done.
Oh, I tried to do a real big business before I came here, but it was early for the meeting, I guess.
Oh man.
Now, is that new?
No, I just
I guess
don't
you
use
just
it.
that's a rare one.
I don't use it enough because it just feels so lame. But
Can I-
No, we're a morning zoo show. It's fine.
yeah.
Can we sue this place?
Oh, you need. Can we see this? Yeah. You can have a.
I'll sue this place.
Music
Yeah.
to my ears.
That's nice. That's
You've seen the
real
video
nice.
now, Alba.
I have seen the video
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
And you didn't laugh at it as much as I want you to. Nobody does, except for my wife.
There's like a little bit of Stockholm syndrome there, right?
Potentially.
In all relationships.
Well, yeah.
In all relationships.
Okay, yeah.
I like cats now.
You do.
That's true. You're not supposed to.
I'm
This-
allergic.
He said we might get another one.
Yeah.
No, we're probably gonna.
No,
get
you
another.
Oh my
you have
God.
one cat. You have to have two.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
rule.
Well, there's a number of logical reasons for it, but yeah.
For getting another cat?
Yeah. So that way, Iris has a friend. One.
That's
so that
a
way
dangerous. That's a slippery slope.
No. But the point is that like it's like she can have someone to play with, so that way she can't like they always have each other.
Yeah.
That,
and she's
that-
young enough that'll work.
Yeah.
Where it didn't work with my cat.
Right, and
Hmm.
then also if we have a kitten, then it kind of can reset, like getting the dog with a cat because
okay.
Iris is like so like fuck this. I've seen this dog enough. I don't want to be around this dog. And Pepper is like, well, I'm trying, but you're scaring me, and you know it's this whole thing. But if there's a kitten, it's like a blank fucking slate for the kitten.
That's
And
true.
so it gives everybody a fair chance.
Okay.
So
So your first cat's name is Iris. What other Goo Goo Dolls song are you going to name?
it's not named after a Goo Goo Doll song.
Yeah, but is it?
It's named.
Is it?
It's really hard to be a fan of The Flash. I've said this before. It's really hard.
Is
it's
Iris
only-
also from The
It
Flash?
has only
Yes.
gotten harder.
It's only gotten harder. Yes,
Like
Iris
since the
is.
show came out.
So Wally.
So first of all, I was gonna suggest Iris when we got her, and then I was
Uh-huh.
like, no, I'm not going to because I had just gotten rid of my first car, Barry, and I got
Mm-hmm.
my second car, Wally. Those are both names of the Flash.
Yes.
And then at the same time of getting literal same time of getting Wally, we found Iris.
There you go.
And I was like, I'm not going to suggest Iris. I'm not going to do it because that's just. And then before I could do it, my wife Kara said, "What about Iris?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! That's what I'm talking about. That's a name right there."
Iris.
Iris West Allen. That's Barry Allen's wife.
So is it Iris West Allen and then your
No, her name's just Iris.
just
Yeah,
Iris?
you don't have to do a whole thing for
Cher.
pets.
Yeah.
It's like Cher.
No. So we're not going to name another cat after Goo Goo Dolls. That won't happen.
In regards to your Stockholm Syndrome comment in the chat, my wife said, "How dare you, Hagen? I think for myself."
Yeah, you probably a little bit.
Now we're getting into philosophical questions
all
of
probably-
do we all have free will?
We all probably think for ourselves enough, but when you're in a relationship, that just that's the way it is.
What that sound was.
That was Discord.
That's
and
cool.
I closed
that's
it.
helpful.
I closed it. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, that makes me nervous.
I mean, if that's on your Mac, it's because that app is terrible.
no. It's not open on my Mac. It's only open. It's not even open here.
You
but
sure?
Yeah. Look at that. Whoa, not there. Not open.
Wow.
I don't know. I hate that app every day.
Yeah. It's a horrible app. It's horrible. Oh man. So yeah.
Today we're going to talk about cover songs, but more importantly, eventually we're going to talk about covers that have eclipsed the original version.
Right.
Let's start with what do you guys think about cover songs?
I mean, I think we've talked about it before. It's not something I just kind of naturally go towards. I don't try to avoid them necessarily, but if a band puts out a whole album or an EP or whatever of covers, I'm probably not going to be very interested.
What's your favorite cover album?
I mean, it's probably Anatomy of by Between the
Yes,
Buried and Me.
that is the answer.
The tricky thing is that so I have a very fond memory of covers in my mind, and that is from a time when I was in high school, and I was every day pretty much on YouTube going metal cover of Party in the USA,
Really?
metal cover of insert pop song.
Really?
Yeah, that was it was a huge thing because there was the whole pop goes punk records that were really
Yeah.
big. And that was for me, that was when I was in a metal band, I was pushing us to do pop songs as covers. We did Sexy Back, we did TikTok by Kesha, and it was so much fun because I felt like it was something that really could draw people into our music.
You did Killing in the Name of.
Well, that we just did that
Yeah,
song.
I know. And you sang it.
Yeah, and I censored myself.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
No. You're welcome, Mom.
My least favorite cover song. What is it?
Your least favorite cover song?
We did a deep dive on this artist.
Didn't we? Is it
Pretty iconic deep dive.
was it a Britney Spears?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Toxic.
It's
Yeah, that's right.
Toxic.
Yeah.
We play in
makes
bands or play in a band
Yeah.
that covers Toxic sometimes. And I'm like, I fucking hate it. I
Yeah.
hate jazzy covers of Toxic. I hate metal. I don't care what it is.
Metal covers of Toxic were they were another one of those things that was everywhere.
Yeah.
Just that making it really dun 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 dun. It's so that's the thing. These metal covers are so good at just being just super ignorant.
Yeah.
Just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's part of the bit.
It is.
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny to see a band that looks all macho and stuff, or not even macho, but just their music is really
The way
energetic
that you'd
and
look if you are in a metal band.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they cover a cheesy pop song.
Well, and to what I was saying before of the metal doing metal bands doing covers of pop songs. Ian in the chat said "A Day to Remember" did "Since You've Been Gone," and this is a cover of Kelly Clarkson that got a lot of people into "A Day to Remember."
Ah,
That was an entry point. They put it on the Pop Goes Punk Volume 3 or Volume 2, and it was on their first full LP as a bonus track.
Bonus.
And
Back when that was a
bonus.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Bonus tracks.
And so they had that in there, so people could oh wow, this Since You've Been Gone, this kind of weird little metal version with some screaming, but it's not too terribly different. It's great.
wow. What was that? Doja Cat. Didn't Doja Cat do a metal version of one of her songs?
Yeah, so she did
The whole Pliny thing. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
She did a metal arrangement of her song "Say So,"
Hmm.
and the breakdown in the solo section was the same as a Pliny song. But again, that's a gateway for so many people. That's
Right.
I mean, it would be super cool if Pliny had already done that.
Yeah. I was obsessed with a cappella covers when I was a kid.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It's weird now because whenever we talk about, when Moniker's on the road, there's at least one point on a drive where Hagen and Jackson are just screaming show tunes and stuff like that. And I'm not annoyed by it because I think it's cute because I love my bandmates. But
We sound great.
and you sound great, but it is kind of annoying. And that whole
What?
I have nothing against the theater because I was a theater kid.
The theater.
The theater. I have nothing against that or musicals, but it's not my jam. But when I was a kid, I was really hell bent on finding every cover of a song a cappella that I could.
like barbershop.
Could be barbershop, anything.
Yeah, I mean,
anything.
if you find really great barbershop arrangements of pretty much any song,
Yeah.
it's gonna be cool. You might be like, this is cringe, and I could turn this off any second and be okay. But if you actually give it a second, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah. So speaking of the theater and stuff like that,
The theater.
the theater. In the early days, covers were the only option you had because music wasn't widely distributed, recorded music anyway.
Right. There wasn't a lot of many ways at all to publish music.
Yeah. So it would be you might know more about the history of this than I do because you're a classical boy.
I don't know shit.
Okay.
I didn't do shit.
I didn't do shit. But it was composers would write music and then they would mail pieces of the score or they would get interpreted into piano concertos and stuff like that.
Like one of the most really common. I know shit. One of the most really common.
Did you just interrupt yourself?
Yeah. My turn. One of the most.
Your turn.
One of the most like really like common uses for covers, like in the early days of this, was like, you know, like you said, people would get sent like sheet music, but it would be like, you know, this is this big symphony, but like you like this you know, court would hire a couple of musicians, and then it's like a private party thing.
Yeah.
But the first time they ever heard it was them like playing it as a cover, quote unquote, for the first time.
Exactly. So
Right.
that constitutes as a cover.
Right. Yeah.
If you wanted to hear Mozart's newest jam, you had to play it yourself.
That's what
you
they
had to play it
called
your
it.
own damn self.
Yeah.
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 Those TikToks of videos saying of TikTok videos of people saying when people listen to Mozart's newest jam back in the day. And it's so funny.
I think that that's such a I always thought about how like weird that must have been to like just like, I mean, it was the norm, but like to look back and see like the first time that you heard a piece was when you played it, probably.
Yeah.
And the idea of that being like, this is not my piece of music, this is still a cover, like, which they probably didn't have that term back then, but like,
No.
it's such a strange idea to like, you know, that's the radio.
Yeah.
That's the radio.
Yeah.
And like you would have, and sheet music was like also not cheap. Like to go get those pieces of music. That's why it was like largely like considered like a rich person thing. To
You do
have
know
them.
about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I know about.
We're digging up that
He
knowledge
took
in the back of your brain.
He took the class.
I
And
took
he
a
was there.
lot of classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would wager that we paid attention about the same amount in those classes.
Well,
I took some of them twice. Across different degrees.
Oh, okay.
I didn't fail.
That's
I didn't
better.
fail.
yeah, I didn't fail either.
It's okay, man.
I took music appreciation. I passed.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
I don't remember. It wasn't a very good class.
Yeah, that was one. That's
It was one of those like bullshit like freshman classes of like, here's 400 people who are here to meet a requirement.
Yeah.
And the teacher is, or the professor is like, all right, we're gonna do this again every semester. I do this and like go into a rant about like, pay attention a little bit, please.
And the other thing about those classes is that those are new teachers most of the time.
Oh yeah, they're
And
adjuncts.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, they go like, you get this, you get the music appreciation class.
Yeah.
Or you get the rock history class.
Yeah, exactly.
I've
yeah.
been offered those gigs and was like, fuck no. I'm
Yeah.
not doing that shit.
I took theater appreciation for like first semester of freshman year.
Is that when you walk into a theater as a class and go, oh,
The theater.
the theater?
That's where you learn how to do that.
Yeah. No, I was like one of the only people that was like stoked on that class.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is awesome. We get to like, we have to go see plays in multiple theaters in the DFW. This is awesome.
I mean,
love
that
this.
I don't care that much about theater, but that sounds kind of cool actually.
super fun.
In
And-
terms of like, other than like the music class, it was like, come sit here and listen to me play some music, and it's like, cool, but it's 8 a.m.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
no, thank you.
No. Why do they do those classes?
Yeah. And the other thing about the theater appreciation
Theater.
was, aside from that, my senior year of high school, I also took a Shakespeare class. So,
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
How was that? Was that boring as hell?
I fucking loved it.
I was gonna
Really?
say, he was
I
probably one of
fucking
those
loved
people.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I loved it. It's so cool.
I don't know anything about Shakespeare.
Well, I'll tell you right now, there's like 4 of them. There's
That's
not-
what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah,
Except
yeah.
there's like 8 of them,
Yeah. There's not just one guy.
and
but-
we're not talking like a trench coat scenario where it's a bunch of short versions
Yeah.
of people stacking on each other's shoulders.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not. It's
Yeah,
not like
it's different
four,
writers.
4 different ones in the multiverse, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shakespeare multiverse.
Multiverses are super in right now. So
Yeah. Somebody's gonna make that movie.
God, that'd be awesome.
So speaking of multiverse, multi-versions of songs would come out because
Oh,
when there was
damn, that's a
when there
fucking segue.
Really good segues.
I'm
today.
trying letting us
good.
talk until we get into the segue. So when recordings were distributed but not widely distributed, record stores would get copies of songs, or they would hear versions of songs before they made it to other towns. So certain artists or record labels would go, oh shit, Ray Charles is about to release a version of Hit the Road Jack. And someone in another part of the country would go, I've heard about this. I'm going to record my version and try and get famous off it in my hometown.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Right, because it's like a bunch of different markets at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah, who can get to it first?
So some of those old recordings, it's like there's 100 different artists who've recorded the same song.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's like kind of, you know, it still is treating music like it was like in this early day, where it's like just like, okay, cool, this is just a song, you play it because you have access to it, and then as soon as someone else has access to it, they play the same song. It's like I'm sure we'll talk about it in detail, and especially at some point I want to talk about the Led Zeppelin Greta Van Fleet thing in great detail. But one of the things about it is like Led Zeppelin, for those who don't know, like quote unquote stole a lot of their material. It was covers. It was covers of other
they were
songs.
like the Disney of music.
Yeah, and it was like a lot of like jam bandy shit that made it different and made it their own. Plus, they were just really good players.
Yeah.
Not everything they played was stolen per se, but it may have been slightly influenced, or they took something from somewhere else and they did that, right? And that's the thing with like the Greta Van Fleet of it all, right? Is like it's like they're just stealing Led Zeppelin. It's like
Exactly,
Led Zeppelin stole Led Zeppelin, bitch. Like what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's actually pretty like on brand for them to do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. For them to actually steal Led Zeppelin, they have to be thieves.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some people were thieves. Like Elvis was a straight up like thief.
Right,
With
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I just watched this video of Ray Charles. If you guys haven't seen it, the interviewer's like, "What do you think of Elvis?" And he's like, "What do you mean? What do I think of Elvis?" And he's like, "Let me rephrase that question. Why is Elvis so good?" And he was like, "Because he stole everything from black people,
Yeah, 'cause
essentially."
he stole the good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, they say he's the king. And he's like, I think he's a punk. And then he goes, stop asking me questions about Elvis. I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's awesome.
That video surfaced a lot when the Elvis movie came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, and like with the Elvis of it all, I think that there's so many different ways to look at like how he stole. I don't like one of the things that is kind of tricky is like how else would someone like that come up at the
Right.
time, but also like give credit where credit's due kind of
Right,
situation
yeah.
where that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
But the idea of just like, okay, cool, I heard this song, now I want to play it. I mean, that's like if you look at how musicians start today, that I think that still happens.
Absolutely,
Like-
it does.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, it may not be like recorded necessarily, but you're
Yeah.
going to start learning how to like play guitar by playing stuff you've heard. That's
Or-
just kind of a natural like thing to do.
You, when you were a kid, playing Killing in the Name of at a live show.
Yeah, well, it's like the way that I learned how to play guitar was by being in a band with guitar players, and I watched them play guitar, and I went, okay, cool, I want to do that now.
Yeah.
Or like yeah. So it's that this thing can. It sounds obvious saying it out loud, but this just like continues, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
But can you imagine like Monica releases a new single and it's 1950, and someone from across the town's like, I heard that band Monica released a new song. And then they're like,
Hold on, wait, hold on.
but the
I heard the new band Monica released a new single. This is Cloudy Sunny Day coming at you now.
yeah, and then someone else is like, I'm going to record that song and see if I can undercut Moniker and get
Yeah.
more famous for that song.
Right.
That's essentially what they were doing.
Yeah, some band named Monica was going to do it.
Monica. I can't believe you did that for me.
Dude, I can't believe you did that to me, Monica. Come on.
You know what's a cover from that time that I didn't know until we did this episode? Come Together by the Beatles.
Oh, really?
It's a cover.
That makes
Yeah.
sense though.
but that's weird.
Oh no, it's definitely like it's one of
It
those
makes
that has
sense,
eclipsed
yeah.
it. But I think when you hear that song, it does make sense because it sounds like it has a weird like quality to it that
Yeah.
sounds like it is a thing that was already there. I don't know how to phrase
do-
that.
I
but
know
it
what
has
you
that,
mean, yeah.
that like thing to it.
Yeah, they just slowed it down and like made it swampier.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't shock me if you were to tell me that most songs from that era were covers of some
Right.
kind, right?
Yeah.
Or
But
had their roots in other songs at least, like
Yeah.
very clear roots in it.
Now, here's a question though: is that like, and you might have this in here, but like, when does something go from being like a cover to being something new? So something that happened a lot in classical music was people would take like poetry and put it to music. Does
Right.
that mean that they're covering that poetry, or does that mean that they're creating something new out of that poetry? Is there a way that we could take a already existing piece of art and still create something new from it instead of just going, I'm going to quote unquote cover that material?
Would you not call that an adaptation? Or set to?
Yeah, set two would be fine. Yeah,
That kind of a thing? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know what either of those what the difference between those would be.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it
Like
seems
an adaptation makes sense, but I don't know what a set to is.
So adapting so and so's poem. I don't know any famous poets. Ginsberg?
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Duh. I already got one. I'm
It's
canceled
like
for that.
It's like the it's to me it's like you could take a really famous song, like let's we talked about Tennessee Whiskey before, right?
Sure.
So to me, the Chris Stapleton song, as it is a cover, is totally refreshing take on the song. And
Right.
to me, I would consider it like it's new. It's not just a cover anymore, right?
It's wildly different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, it's using the same lyrics,
Plus, how many years apart?
but
True.
yeah.
But using the same lyrics, but like at this again, if we use poetry as an example, it's like poets would write stuff, and then every composer would go, "I'm using that. I'm using that.
Right.
I'm using that. I'm using that," and then create a bunch of different shit from those exact words.
Yeah. So the difference might be specifically the David Allan Coe Tennessee Whiskey versus Chris Stapleton's could be like an updated version
Yeah.
or something like
Like
that.
a movie equivalent, like a remake.
Yeah.
Enough-
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's.
But it's funny because most of that, like the rights to Winnie the Pooh,
Right.
were public domain, so they made a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that version of Tennessee Whiskey was not on most of the lists because I was digging around to see like
Right.
which ones were actually covers.
Oh,
It's
people
not on most of the
probably
lists,
don't
No.
know that it's a cover.
or they don't consider it a cover. Maybe.
Right. That's
Maybe,
that's
yeah.
also another option because again like the kind of naming of a cover is such an interesting thing to me.
I guess with
Yeah.
the age of it, so it would have been like the rights were expired by them then anyway.
Could be,
potentially.
yeah.
Might be part of it.
Have you heard the David Allan Coe version of Tennessee Whiskey?
we played it.
We
right?
played it.
Oh
we
yeah,
played it.
right.
Yeah,
I forgot that we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's like you.
I just don't know how old it was, and if that means it can't be a cover then because it's like the rights to the song, it's all public domain at that point. I don't know if that's actually the case.
I think it would still be considered.
It's probably recent enough; it may not be still.
I
But
think it would still be considered like a quote unquote cover. If you took like a really old folk song and then did it the exact same way from like the 40s and then did it now, if it was the exact same, I'd call it a cover.
yeah,
So one of the things that I found in looking around was that obviously Cotton Eye Joe, we know that song. That is by far not the original version of that song.
Yeah.
And that song it dates back to like the slave era. There's a dark history to it, but the lyrics have been changed so much.
Yeah, every time someone sings that song, I'm like, I don't think you guys want to sing that
No.
song.
yeah. Somebody asked about that recently when I was out somewhere, and they were like, "Yeah, you know this song is great, right?" I'm like, "I don't know if we're supposed to
We're not. No.
be excited about
No,
this song."
that's ignorance is bliss. And,
Yeah.
Whenever you hear that song and people are dancing.
Yeah.
Well, I was just immediately like, "Do you guys know the name of it? Like, it doesn't
Exactly. Yeah. What is
can't be good, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and he says, if it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd be married a long time ago.
Yeah. It's not great.
We're not going to go down that
Yeah.
rabbit hole. But
But that's an example of like kind of a cover and the song changing, throughout time.
yeah, very much
and,
so.
and becoming something that even though people like maybe don't fully understand the full context, it becomes something that
That's like completely disconnected almost.
It's a
Right.
it's a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like the what's that song called?
I don't know. I don't like
No
it.
Anyway,
idea.
there
It's
was
not
like
great.
a late 90s they basically made the fast version of it, and I think it was like not Crazy Frog
Yeah,
or something
Yeah.
like
fucking
that.
hate
Yeah.
Crazy
That's
Frog.
Roger Miller singing from the
I hate it.
well, whatever it is, whatever that movie.
Okay, it made millions of dollars on like ringtones and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like. I have like such a fucking like horror memory of like being in a hotel in Germany visiting my dad. And my dad's fucking working the whole goddamn time, and I like that was a fucking ringtone.
Yeah.
So all you like
No, I'm not joking. I think they are like multimillionaires because of
And-
ringtones.
and
Wow.
ringtone ads were all over the place in Germany at the time, just like in between everything, especially on MTV. It was just like all over the place. Suddenly, fucking that song again. Like I can't. I'm gonna freak out.
Ian pointed out in the chat, it's the hamster dance.
Well, sure, whatever it is, I don't give a fuck. I thought it was Crazy Frog. I don't want to know what any of it is.
I don't. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't
so
need to know.
those things are reinterpretations. So how do they get away with changing that stuff? I think if they still own the rights to it, say in the case of the lyrics to Tennessee Whiskey, there's a thing called a mechanical license that I was reading about. So once a song is first recorded, so album, let's say you write a song. Okay, what's the name of your song?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Say the name of your song again.
Oh my god,
Can you believe he said
I
that?
can't believe he said
Yeah.
that. Holy shit!
People are
dude.
going to be talking about that in 50 years.
Okay, so Adam records his version of. Do I have to say it? He records
Yeah,
his version of, and it hits big time. As soon as that initial recording is done, if you wanted to record a version of then all you have to do is apply for a license called a mechanical. Where I have my notes here? What is it? Mechanical royalties. So what that is, it's not that expensive. It's based on, I think, how many units the song has sold already, and you apply for that license. It can't be denied. So if you were like, I want to cover this song,
but you still have to pay it.
you have to pay it,
So,
but it's
yeah.
not
You
that
have to
much.
Pay based on how popular it is.
I think
Basically,
it's
based on how many, if it's based
something
on,
like that.
If it's based on how many units it's sold, that's a super interesting metric to look at, especially now.
I was gonna say,
Well,
how does
and
that work now?
I think
Yeah.
there could be a standard amount per song or something like that. But that's essentially how people get away with doing cover versions of songs.
Yeah.
so you're
and-
just paying for the ability to do a cover.
Yeah. And the mechanical royalties are paid to either the songwriter, if they still own the publishing, or the publisher.
Right.
So that's how we make some money off of that.
Right.
Not to be confused with like BMI and ASCAP and things like that. They do performance royalties. So there's the distinction between that. Because I've often wondered, like, the history of jazz standards is such that it's like the Tin Pan Alley and show tunes and all of the Broadway musical hits adapted to jazz songs, but they're still the same thing. So like Rodgers and Hammerstein or whatever, their version of a song is played now by some college kid on a record. It's like, how do they get away with it? Mechanical royalties.
So does that kind of incentivize people to cover songs that are not popular? Or is
Or-
it not that dramatic of a price?
I don't think it's
anyway?
that dramatic of a price.
I'd be super curious to see like what it would cost to cover Taylor Swift.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I'm
That would be
thinking,
the thing,
right?
though, is like it would incentivize you to like maybe go dig and find
Yeah.
Older
more,
material.
more interesting stuff,
Yeah.
potentially even to cover that's like forgotten by time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of 99 Red Balloons about older material because that song, Goldfinger covered it in, I don't know, the early to mid 2000s. And that's an old song from like Germany or something,
Yeah.
right? You know that song?
99 Luftballons.
Yeah. They covered that. It's like, I didn't know that wasn't their song.
That's one of those covers that that was like one of like the earliest memories I have of someone going, you know, that's a cover.
I've definitely
we've
said
all
that before.
we've all definitely
Yeah,
done
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. But that's one of the earliest memories of like that song as like, you know, that's a cover, right? And I think someone shamed me because it was German. And I was like, I didn't know it was German. But
Double whammy on your
you're
part.
supposed to
You
know-
suck, man.
Supposed to know everything from German history, don't you know?
true. I didn't
how that
take
works.
German history. I took Texas history and music history.
There you go.
And American history, I guess.
Texas history was a pretty good class.
My mom taught it.
Then it's a great class.
My mom taught me Texas
I don't know if
history.
that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It was good. I
guess it depends on the school, but
It was good. She's a good teacher, right, Mom? You're a good teacher.
no, I'm not doubting that. I just mean the whole, like,
Sounds like you're making fun of Hagen's mom as a teacher.
no, I was making fun of Hagen.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Texas. We used to go on Miss Houseshield's tour of Texas.
There you go.
We had something at my school called Adventure Week. So it was the week before spring break, and every middle school class would like go on their own trip. And so we basically got 2 weeks of spring break. And so
It's a pretty good deal.
yeah,
That's a great
so
deal.
so that for that adventure week, if you're in 6th grade, then you go to Miss Houseshield's tour of Texas, and you get to go see like Austin, San Antonio, like all the shit that's Texas history related.
That's
You go-
crazy.
You go other places too.
Did you go see the Alamo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
San
I think you have
Antone.
to. Yeah.
yeah, you have to see the Alamo.
Can't forget it.
You went, right?
No.
No, we
We
did
were
the
like,
Riverwalk.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, I think someone in Makeshift was like, it's right down there.
Yeah,
We're like,
what-
no.
No,
also,
it's not right down there. It's
it's like 2 or 3 miles right down.
yeah,
there.
it's not. It's not
Well,
like you can
Hagen's
just,
like, that's not that long a walk.
I'm not gonna walk 2 or 3 miles
No.
in that heat.
Well,
I parked
you're not gonna walk to the
kinda
Alamo.
far.
That how little you think of the Alamo?
I have a video of you walking from the store way down the driveway the other day by our work through the parking lot, and it was like 105 out.
Do you know how far
How
Academy
many miles
is
is that though?
from where
It's like,
we work?
What, a quarter of a mile, half a mile?
No fucking way. It is like maybe 0.2 miles.
Yeah, it's not that.
That is not far.
Okay, well,
it is hot. I'll give
far
you
enough that I
that.
wanna
it's,
walk
it's
in that
very
weather.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot, but it is not. That no.
It's a
Honestly,
concrete-
probably less than 0.2 miles. It's like 0.2 miles from the Walmart to the Alamo Draft House. I know that because I had to walk that once.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It is.
I
not
underestimate the length of a mile.
Yeah,
I need to recalibrate here.
you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you know how long a kilometer is? Is that what it is?
That's probably what it is. But also, it's funny to
then,
think of
then
me.
you would be like kind of right. Actually, I think it would be like half a kilometer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's like, walk a mile in my shoes. And I'm like, that's so far.
It is far.
Yeah.
That is far.
But you would think it's so far, and then be like 0.3 miles in, and you're
yeah,
like,
I'd be like, is that a mile
am I
yet?
done? I
You
remember.
go on hiking somewhere in mountains, and it's like, oh, it's a mile and a half up, and Dave's like, that'll be easy. We'll be done in an hour. It's
Yeah, we got it. No.
like, try like 3 hours.
I remember doing cross country in high school and have to get to school at like 5:30 in the morning and have to run like 3 to 5 miles depending on the day. And you reach a point where you're like, you're timing your mile because that's the whole point. And you reach a point where like I have been running forever. When does this stop? Does this ever stop?
Or when you realize, like, if you do that every day, right?
Yeah.
In high school, you like on Friday, people would like tally up and they'd be like, I ran 5 hours this week
Yep.
before the sun came up.
I don't think
And
I've run
everybody's like,
5
"What is
hours in the
wrong with
last
you?"
year.
We had one day where we had to run 9 miles that morning. It was the worst.
So you've had like
This
the
is like
runner's
child
high.
abuse.
No, fuck runner's high. That shit sucks.
Hey.
I get the endorphins from working out, but runner's high is
It's different. Yeah, it's not the same thing. Running is not enjoyable to as many people as you would think.
runner's high is a lie.
I think it's
that's
bullshit.
A lie.
Yeah.
I think that's a lie.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Some people tell themselves so they keep running.
Yeah. It's like sunscreen. It's a lie.
Sunscreen. Another hot take.
I have a lot
We go
of
an
opinions.
anti-science here. Are we gonna like talk about like how you are against like nukes or something now?
Against nukes.
Nuclear power. I don't know.
I was like, is that a hot take to be
yeah,
like,
I'm against
I
fucking-
am anti-nuke?
I
guess for some people, maybe, yeah.
I'll nuke you. I'll nuke this
I'll nuke
place.
this place.
So another part, a very popular part of covers, because there's no good segue back to that.
No,
is-
we went off the rails. This time.
Tribute bands and cover bands. I
Right.
think that's an extremely strange universe that I very frequently participate in, and you do
you mean
as well.
it's weird
Adrian.
in that?
Why
in
does
what
it
way?
work?
Well, okay.
Why does
but
it work? Like,
I
because
still
I've
don't
always
get it.
kind of wondered like who. Not to sound mean, but who wants
you're
to
fine.
watch a cover band?
Can we
Look, I'm at weddings playing
know.
these
Well,
gigs, and
weddings
I'm
is-
like, no.
I think
it's-
weddings are different. At
Every
least.
wedding I've played, we've been told to turn down, and then I go, "Oh, you want a playlist on from a speaker,
Yeah.
not a
well,
9-piece
can we,
band."
Can we real quick draw the dividing line between cover and tribute, cover band and tribute band?
Very good. Yes.
Yeah. So a cover band would be like this is the way I see it, right? A cover band would be like a band that basically is like they're just playing a bunch of songs that aren't
Yeah.
theirs, right?
Right. They're hired to play the songs usually.
Yeah, but
It's a good way to make money.
it might not
Also known
be-
as a top 40 band.
Yeah, it might not
variety
be,
band.
They might have a specific thing like top 40s, or they might do like a specific era, but they are not. They're doing a large smorgasbord of songs.
Right. They've got
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
library of songs to pull
Right.
from.
Whereas a tribute band also might have a large library, but they specifically are doing a tribute to a specific band or
Yes.
artist. So
Or
like
maybe an era at most, but that would be
yeah,
would be a
tribute
little
to hair
weird.
metal. A tribute
yeah. That
to-
it'd have to
yeah.
be like one of those like short-lived genres.
Yeah.
yeah, ultra specific kind of style or era. Whereas so like a tribute band, like a tribute there's a Fall Out Boy tribute band from Austin that I've been getting targeted ads for. That's called Y'all Out Boy.
Oh my god.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So all they do is play Fall Out Boy songs, and they're from Texas, so they're
That's
Y'all Out Boy.
hilarious.
That's perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
Although it is weird that there's a tribute band for a band that is actively touring.
Hey,
happens all the
I'm
time.
sure it happens. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird to me to think about like building an entire career off of owning a tribute band,
yes.
Yeah.
right? I know people in tribute bands that I've played with that have met the people
Yeah.
that they are in tribute to.
It's crazy.
It's super crazy.
So one of the things. So to go back to why is it so?
Why
big?
does it work?
Okay, so like I think this sounds pretty simple, but I think this is truly all it comes down to. So people like seeing live music, right? People don't like to pay for live music, and live music is not always available to them. So for those who live in the DFW, there is a lot of live music potential. Like Dallas and Fort Worth get a lot of live acts, but maybe you live in a suburb like Louisville or like Plano or something
Yeah.
like that, right? And you don't have the immediate access to the venues in Dallas or Fort Worth. It takes you a bit of time. Or maybe you just want to hear a different, a specific, just any live music.
Yeah.
But you don't want to hear something you don't know, because that's like,
It's scary.
It's
I
well,
don't want to hear an original band.
it kind of is scary because I don't really want to go out to this place and hear a band that is playing music I don't like.
Yeah.
But instead, I could go to this restaurant that has this cover band playing, probably top 40s or rock. So many times with the cover band that we're in, someone walks up and goes, "What kind of music do you play?" And I'm like, "It's a lot of shit, man."
Yeah.
It's like I say, we play anything from Tom Petty to Amy Winehouse. And they're like, "I got it." And I'm like, "Do you?"
No, you don't.
Do you? Because
Yeah,
those are two very different things.
How is that a helpful answer?
Right. That's the best
Really,
I got.
I guess really the answer is like the music you grew up listening to is what you mean
Yeah.
to some of these people.
So,
Yeah.
It kind of depends, but it could be it could be a variety of different things that a cover band's going to play. But as long as it kind of, as long as it feels comfortable to the listener, then they have something to latch on to.
It's just so crazy to me how many cover bands there are in DFW alone.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a particularly crazy scene
It
for
is.
it, but there are so many cover bands.
I mean, there's a lot of barns to play at.
I thought you said bars, and then I heard bars.
Barns.
Oh my god.
No, barns.
I've
That's
played
fucking good.
I've played cover band gigs in barns. I've played in bowling alleys. I've played dive bars for sure. They're my favorite thing to play.
See, that seems like a fun cover band to go, like a place to go see a cover band is at a dive bar because it's like,
Yeah.
we all know what we're doing here. Like we're not pretending that we're just listening to like safe music. It's like we just
Yeah.
wanted something on in the background kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flatbed trucks.
Yeah.
I've played on the back of flatbed trucks, trailers,
So
boats,
I mean, and
Yeah, you
like,
played on the dock on the water. Yeah.
dock of the bay.
Dock of the Bay. think about like the idea of you play in country cover bands. So I wouldn't call that a tribute. You just play country music.
Yes.
And you're gonna go play a place maybe it's called Filthy McNasty's. I don't know. That sounds like a place, and maybe it's in the Stockyards in Fort Worth. That seems like maybe a place you would hear country music.
Yeah.
Probably. Am I
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That seems
So-
like a place that would exist. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe if you're someone who likes country music and you just want to go out, then especially for country music fans, there's something about a DJ, I think, in that scene where it's like, this just doesn't work.
They have
right?
them.
They have them, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
But like the aesthetic is not the vibe.
It doesn't
right?
fit. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So you're referencing the literal gig I played this past weekend.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's because you brought it up. I want to actually talk about it. There were these, it's a bunch of college kids that go to these bars, and they were holding their phones up like they were playing that game.
Yeah.
What's that game called?
Heads Up.
Heads Up, I guess. Yeah. And then we get the answer. You go like this. One of the ladies walked up to the stage, and it said the song request was "Dicked Down in Dallas," and I guess that's a pretty famous country song.
I guess you should learn that one.
That
no, I'm
sucks.
probably not gonna. Unless somebody asks me, then I'll
You
learn
mean
it.
Dicker Down Dave is
Dick-
not going to
yeah.
learn.
Dick Down in Dallas. I did get an extra laugh out of that because I was like,
That's me.
"That's me." I could just pay the mechanical royalties on that and
Yeah, there you go.
cover it myself. My artist name would be Dicker Down Dave.
That
He's saying
sucks.
that. So,
Do you?
yeah,
Oh, I wonder why. Yeah, so like I think that for like people who like rock music, for example, I have friends, I have students, I have acquaintances who like rock music, but the idea of going to like sitting in a dive bar and listening to the jukebox is kind of a bummer when you want live music. So you'd rather hear either the really good or subpar. It's pretty much just it's subpar or
One or
really
the other,
good.
yeah.
You don't really get like they're good or they suck. You get subpar or really good cover band play a Tom Petty tune or play
Right.
a Zeppelin song, that kind of thing. And that seems like a really appealing thing for fans of the genre, especially when you talk about bands that are non-existent anymore. The only way you're going to hear those songs live is by, either a tribute band, which you do have to pay a good amount of money to get. Like those are like $50 tickets a lot of the time.
yeah.
So $50
Like sell out the House of Blues
easily. Yeah. I've had students come into the lessons going, man, I saw the tribute band for X whatever, and it was crazy. We spent like over $100, and they sounded amazing. I'm like, dude, I would never. But
Yeah, it's not for me,
It's
but
not
I
for
guess
me.
it's cool.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I guess also with like ticket prices going higher up and higher up,
That's
I guess
true.
this maybe makes more sense why people were into the idea.
yeah,
like Walmart brand Queen.
Yeah,
But that's I can see if the band is no longer performing. That's actually really cool.
I think it's way more appealing to me and more interesting to me personally if it's like a Bowie like tribute band here in Denton would be. I would go to that.
Yeah.
That's probably
especially
better
if
thing,
I
actually,
could,
but-
like there's people who have lived in Denton or still live in Denton who I think could like crush that cover band,
Right.
Or
Yeah.
crush that tribute band.
Yeah.
that would be great. But yeah, I think that there's so much validity to cover and tribute bands for a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
Musicians, I don't think that's their thing. I think musicians, I couldn't think of a musician friend of mine that's like, all I want to do is go watch a cover band or tribute band play. That's like going and watching the sausage get made, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And almost every time we've done that you and I have seen cover bands, which hasn't been that many,
We're
but
just like, God, this fucking sucks.
just
Oh,
sitting
but like
there.
you see them like playing at like a wedding or something.
Yeah,
And then you're just like, I don't like that gig either. You're on the
Yeah.
same page.
I know exactly what they're going through right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Or we just sit there and we're dicks about it, just
Yeah.
shit talking
Huge
to ourselves,
fucking
like
dicks.
the wrong note,
yeah.
like people playing covers incorrectly.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun playing covers over the years, but I definitely don't want to hang my hat on that. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's something to this idea, like to go back to the very beginning of covers, like
Yeah.
we've done. There's a career to be made on just playing other people's music.
Yeah.
And I totally get the idea, especially now with how prominent like original music is and how prominent other like career paths for music there are. But that has existed since the beginning of
Absolutely.
musical time. Is like play someone else's music and that's your living.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
it's a relatively recent thing that it's accessible for you to make and publish your own music.
Yeah.
And somebody might actually hear it.
Yeah.
And like I know someone who has been who's been playing in the Dallas Symphony Orchestra for like probably if I had to guess probably like 30 years or more. Like it's like that's been their job.
That's just a fancy cover band.
Exactly.
Orchestras
People look at it differently, but yeah.
are fancy cover
Yeah.
bands.
Well, I would say fancy cover band just based on the paycheck alone, but
Yeah. Some of these people make a lot of money off of these cover bands, though.
yeah, they do. That's very true.
Yeah.
that's very true.
I just, I've played a venue where the venue had two stories and both bands were playing the same Red Hot Chili Pepper song on purpose. The band I was in did it on purpose. We heard them playing. We were like, let's play that song.
Do you remember when we played that it was like a realty event in Fort Worth? They're like building these houses and they put bands.
Some
at
of these
each
gigs
house.
that y'all get are so strange.
So they
Dude, imagine being in the band that's
no,
playing them.
I'm sure. But I just mean like that somebody who works at like a realtor or realty office was like,
yeah.
you know what we need? We need a band.
So they were building. It's this big like they're building all these like fancy houses in Fort Worth.
Sure,
And they were
yeah.
like, let's have a band at 3 of these houses, and it was the 3 houses that are fucking right next to each other. So we're in the center, and then to our right is an acoustic artist, and then to our left is
In
a
the
jazz
house or
trio.
outside?
Oh,
Outside.
We're all outside. And so
Okay.
like
it sounded,
we're, like,
it
by the
sounded
pool.
a little bit like more interesting if it was like, hey, they're playing inside. Go look in the house, and also
No.
you can hear music.
no, we're all outside by the pools.
We were the
and-
only band with drums.
Yeah, and
We
so
had Hagen on drums.
I was playing fine. I played quiet. Okay.
I know. I joke about you being a loud drummer. You can play
You can play
loud.
quiet, yeah.
You don't only
No,
play
no,
loud.
sorry. I do play loud. I can play
Can play
quiet.
quiet.
There.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to, every now and again, I'm going to say it on
That's
the show.
fine. That's fine. Anyway, it was like, we're like, I'm trying to count in a fucking song, and all I can hear is this guy playing Wonderwall over here, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna freak. I don't know. I do not know where I am.
It's really hard to find the tempo to a song you're about to play when someone else is playing another song.
Very loudly,
Yeah.
like
Especially something as polarizing as Wonderwall.
yeah.
For
I don't-
gigging musicians.
I don't know if that was the song. That's just like what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either that or Brown Eyed Girl. Let's be honest.
exactly. Yeah.
There are songs like that are absolutely staples.
Well, so that's I was gonna say like what are cover songs that are staples to like you see a cover band or you think of like oh they're gonna cover X what song they're gonna cover.
The biggest one
Uh-huh.
is Don't Stop Believing.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
100%.
Because anywhere you're going to play that wedding, bar,
Yeah.
realty event, people are going to be all about that.
Yeah. Especially white crowds. They'd love that song.
Oh, dude,
that
white
song
people
is their
fucking
fucking
love that
that's-
song.
yeah.
that is insane.
I love playing that song. The bass part is great.
That also, yeah, it seems like there are definitely, obviously, some songs that are more fun to play, but that seems like one of them that would be like, especially if the crowd is involved, it's like, all right, yeah, we all know what we're doing here. This is fun. This is good.
The least favorite ones and the ones that, you'll hear a lot are like, do you know the Cupid Shuffle? No. That sucks.
Yeah,
The Wobble. Do you know that one?
yeah.
Yeah, that song
So
is,
all the wedding like dance songs.
yeah, that song is literally E flat for me the entire song. It's the same rhythm. So those are songs that are staples. Brown Eyed Girl is another one that's a staple.
Whatever that song was in Barbie.
Yeah, that's whatever that song was at Barbie. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I thought you've seen it.
I've seen it. What are you talking about?
Where he's like, I'm going to play guitar at you.
Oh,
And then
they did.
Yeah, I forget the name of the song, but it's
do?
as soon as they started playing it, I was like, that is a cover song. That there's a guy playing the song at you at the beach. That's
Yeah, fuck.
So
Damn.
accurate.
That was.
Yeah.
Damn. There's that Bruno Mars song,
Oh, Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline.
That's
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
So we've talked about making playlists out of some of these episodes.
I'm not doing that.
No.
We're not doing that for this one
You don't
because that
start with
playlist is going to suck. No.
yeah.
That's not the point of us making a playlist. Is to
Yeah.
go, here's a bunch of famous like songs you'll hear at a cover band.
It's the radio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But sometimes you play these songs and then you realize that, someone will point out, did you know that's a cover?
Right.
And that's kind of what we're here to talk about. So I have some examples of this, but before I dive into these, what are examples that you guys are aware of?
The big one, which I know is on your list, is the Nine Inch Nails song "Hurt."
Hurt. Yeah. Johnny
Yeah.
Cash.
Johnny Cash
cover.
covered and like just completely killed and owned.
Yeah.
Like
Trent
very,
Reznor.
very immediately too. It wasn't like over time.
No. Trent Reznor said it was like watching someone else. Can you bleep me out?
Yeah.
It's like watching someone else. Yeah, it was just one cuss word, but now it makes it look like I said a lot. Something about his
I
girlfriend.
can't hear when that happens. I can hear you like through my headphones. So I'm just gonna wait till you're done.
Yeah. But he owned it.
Yeah,
And then he was like, okay.
It was very immediately like his song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ian in the chat said Rusty Cage is a common cover song. I haven't ever played that one.
It sounds like he's gonna D's nuts you
I think is that
or something.
Hagen, you got any?
Off the top of my head, honestly, no. I know that as soon as you say them, I'll go, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that's a cover. But off the top of my head, I can't think of.
So, did you guys know that "I Will Always Love You" was not written by Whitney Houston?
Was it? What wasn't written by or not?
She didn't write it, and
Okay.
But
she's not the
so it
original
is
version.
a
It's a
cover.
cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not know that one.
did not.
The writer was Dolly Parton.
That's cool.
Oh,
Dolly
okay.
Parton wrote that song,
That's cool.
and
So that's one of those songs that just kind of got forgotten and like didn't make it.
kind of yeah. But Dolly wasn't. She was on like the Porter Wagner show as like his sidekick, and she actually wrote that song for him, but it wasn't super popular.
Right.
And then Elvis's manager, I forget his name, Big Hoss or something like that was his name.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks went up to Dolly Parton and was like, I want to buy that song.
Tom Hanks in a fat suit.
Tom Hanks in a fat suit asked Dolly Parton to buy that song in 1960 something. And she was like, no. And they were like, what? What do you mean? Because they wanted all the rights to the song.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure they were used to just going up and telling somebody, I want to buy that.
Exactly,
And they say
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I would have got a couple of cancel bucks if I had said what I was just about to say.
Don't
I
say
mean,
it.
we got
not gonna say
one
it.
extra for you.
Another popular one, Adam, you should know this, is Nirvana's version of David Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
listen to, Hagen, just the intro to David Bowie's version and the intro of Nirvana's version? So I admittedly did not know that David Bowie wrote this song. And when you search it, as Hagen just demonstrated,
Oh, it's definitely more
it
popular.
comes up as the Nirvana version.
This is kind of interesting. I hadn't thought about this, but there was a period where David Bowie was intentionally having other people record covers of his songs. I don't know if this was that era.
This was not
but
that-
Nine,
well,
Nine
I don't
Inch
know,
Nails
actually.
recorded a bunch of different versions of a couple Bowie songs with
Really?
him. And then like 2 or 3 other bands around that same era in the 90s. So
Well, this was from
I don't know
their,
if that was just like a thing that Bowie like wanted to do and enjoyed doing. I'm not sure, but he definitely did at some point where he
Yeah.
was like, hey, he put out an EP of at least 6 different covers of one of his songs because he's like, nobody ever listened to this song and I think it's great. So go make it better and make people like it.
You want the Bowie version first?
do the Bowie version first.
Okay.
It's much the Nirvana one is from their Live and Unplugged in New York.
Okay.
So there's obviously different textures, but it kind of sounds similar, like a overdriven acoustic guitar.
I mean, like,
So what I want to listen for is the break before the vocals come in. There was one beat, right?
yeah.
Okay, good. Now go to the Nirvana version.
I'll say before we even do this that like the moment that started, it's like that sounds like the unplugged version.
It does, yeah. So now we go to the Unplugged. There was one beat before Bowie sang.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go to the Nirvana version. Different key. They're half step down.
Yeah.
It sounds very similar, obviously.
They had trouble figuring out the scale part in the middle of the song. It's pretty
course
funny.
they did.
So listen to
that
this.
makes sense, though. Yeah.
4 beats before Kurt sings.
Yeah.
So
I think it's kind of an improvement, actually.
I think so too. I just found it interesting. And the first time I heard the Bowie version, I went to wait to sing that, and I was like, Bowie came in early.
Bowie came in early.
American Woman by Lenny Kravitz is a cover.
Okay.
The Guess Who did it first, and it was actually really popular. Do you guys know the song Istanbul, Not Constantinople?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cover.
Who's the original?
The Four Lads. Can we hear a little bit of that? Because
Okay, yeah.
I have this weird memory of this song when I was a kid, knowing all the words to it, and I don't think it was the They Might Be Giants version.
What? That's the version that I know.
That's
I know, I think
that's
I
the
heard-
version I was going to assume you were talking about.
I think I heard like the original
Bing Crosby,
version.
Ella Fitzgerald. Excuse me.
So wait, let's do the Bing Crosby one.
Okay.
So this was them recording that as a cover of the original.
Yes.
Hold on.
So this is a very old song.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
check something. Let me zoom out. Okay. I don't know if it's recording this. It should be recording all of it.
We'll see.
Well, it's recording all of us. I'm not sure if it's recording the audio from my computer. It should be though. That's fine. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay. So here's Istanbul Bing Crosby version.
It's very of the time.
Yeah, it is. It is very of the time.
Istanbul was Constantinople.
Oh, it's so
Now
boring.
Okay, let's go to the Four Lads. I want to hear
Sounds
that
like
version.
a Christmas song.
God.
Everything sounds like a Christmas song.
No, I just
Bing
mean Bing Crosby.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is the one that I knew first before the They Might Be Giants.
So this is the original, though. Good thing.
Yeah. Well, maybe. I'm sure. It's probably not.
Oh no, this looks like it'd be the original.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
it's-
the one that I
yeah.
knew. But
It's a better song, so Bing Crosby fucked it up.
Istanbul was
I've
Constantinople.
never,
This is good. Yeah.
I've never heard the They Might Be Giants version.
Well, now you're about to.
Never.
It's the version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's overtaken it.
This
Yeah.
is the only time I feel like a hipster. Oh, I know the Four Lads
I know
version.
the Four Lads version. I
Yeah.
know the dude. When I was a kid, I loved barbershop quartets.
Shit, I'm being very hipster today.
It takes a minute.
It does.
I don't remember that. I've never.
I don't remember
And
that.
it's
fair-
it's because it's only 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
There must have been like a radio edit.
I
radio
think
edit or
it
something.
feeds in from another song.
Yeah.
Too, on the
Oh,
album.
probably. Yeah.
Because that's where I remember it started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's faster.
Takes longer.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly what we're looking for.
this song is a lot older than I thought now.
Istanbul was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul.
I've never heard this.
It's a banger.
That's so weird.
This is like, I don't know if it's this their quintessential song, but it's up there.
I would say it is. I would bet that this is They Might Be Giants' like biggest song. Let's find out. Yep.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
wow.
Birdhouse in Your Soul was going to be my next guess, though.
They're such
That whole album actually
they're
is
such
just
a
like,
fun band too.
yeah.
It's crazy. They're so much fun. I would definitely, if you haven't listened to They Might Be Giants ever, I would definitely highly suggest that. That's a great listen.
One I haven't heard yet is so respect Aretha Franklin.
RASPSPT. Find out what it means to me.
There you go. You nailed it.
That's what Steve Carell said in The Office.
That is a cover of Otis Redding.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. That
I
makes
feel like
sense.
I did know that.
I did not know that.
I feel like that sounds familiar, but I don't know why I would know that
Yeah.
information.
We got the Chicks covering Landslide.
Oh,
That's Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
That's such a huge one because I remember I have like a vivid memory of hearing both versions as a kid.
Yeah.
and just not
And
really
like
recognizing
realizing covers were a thing then.
Well, I didn't really recognize that they were like different. I was just like, these are the same that sound slightly different from one
Yeah.
another.
Right.
But
I
like,
mean,
because the Chicks' version is really similar to Stevie
Yeah.
Nicks'. It's just I think if I remember correctly, the biggest giveaway is the production quality.
Right, and that's how powerful Stevie Nicks is.
Yeah.
Is that like the Chicks, probably at the height of their career before they got canceled, I think, covered that song and it didn't eclipse
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks' version.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's wild.
that was the introduction to that. Like I've heard people like I've been at restaurants, people playing that song, going, I love the Chicks.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah, okay, good.
I've played that song with someone who probably doesn't even know who the Chicks are,
Wow.
but
Yeah,
but
that's
loves
kinda
that
weird.
song. Yeah.
that makes sense.
Can we talk about one more? As far as I know, I've got one more. Life is a Highway.
Whoa, didn't know this.
Okay.
So the Rascal
Wait.
Flatts covered it,
Did I know this?
but
And it
the
was in the
original
movie Cars.
version was from I think John Mellencamp.
Yeah. Okay.
That song annoys the shit out of me.
Oh, dude, what a
Have we
banger.
talked about this?
No.
Okay, put it on.
Which version?
Both of them. Because when he says life is a highway, it comes in on a downbeat, and I feel like it should come in on an upbeat. The song starts on an upbeat. Dun,
Sure.
dun, 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 dun. Life is a highway. It annoys the shit out of me. We've
This
definitely
is
talked
one-
about this on the show.
This is one
before.
where I think I probably know the original more.
But it was covered by Rascal Flatts for
Right.
the Cars movie.
That's what I was about to say.
Wait. Who was the
Sorry, Tom Cochran.
Oh, okay. I was like, what am I missing here? Okay, cool. Okay, Tom Cochran did the original.
He did the original.
Life is a Highway. Okay, here we go. Let's give that a listen.
This
Don't
is
you
when
just love that?
I hear
Yeah.
or think of
That's
the song.
great.
This is the version. Yeah.
Yeah. That, for the record, is the guitar version of when I asked you to hit the snare on all the beats. This guitar part thing there, it's like, this is fucking
dude,
great.
that's so good.
He comes in, he's singing it all on the upbeats.
Who knows all the words to this song?
Nobody.
People are crazy.
Tom
if they
Cochran
know.
doesn't remember all the. Oh, actually, I don't know if he's
I
still
was
alive
about
or
to
not.
say.
Okay. So
So
now,
the cover version was on the Cars soundtrack,
so this is
Yeah.
yes,
which I
this
guess is a good source of covers.
I'm super
Yes.
curious. A lot of okay, I
Not
guess it
specifically
is, yeah.
Cars, but all the soundtracks.
Tom
Yeah.
Cochran's still alive.
So probably
He doesn't remember.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here's Rascal Flatts. I mean, those toms sound great.
They do. Yes. But we got to get to the chorus. It's up. You know what that is? That's the cars revving up. Yeah.
Okay, I'll fast forward a little bit. I'll get us to that chorus.
Don't bore
It
us.
does take a while.
Okay, there. Oh, yeah, we're there.
There's not much
Tell me
time
if this shouldn't be on the upbeat.
Life is a highway.
No, I disagree.
Okay, now wait. Listen to the second phrase.
Okay.
If you're going my
It sounds so weird to me.
Yeah. Okay. I get.
Everything
why.
else is on the upbeats and it's contrasting.
It was on the Cars soundtrack. It's fine.
But it's the same in the Tom Cochran version.
I think that it probably is like that because it's a catchy melody. There's something extra catchy about it that way. I don't know why.
It's for white people.
It is for white. Yes.
Yeah, it's the Cars
No,
movie.
I don't.
We don't know how to
if-
sing on
If
downbeats.
anybody argued that wasn't for white people, that would be the craziest thing in the world. This entirely, whether it be the first or the second version we listened to, is made for white people.
Or
yes.
the other 20 versions that are there.
I don't even want to look at that.
No, that is so many versions. Veggie Tales.
Oh, dude, that's tempting.
Honestly, that was probably pretty good.
Yeah, let's hear that one.
Okay, all
Let's
right.
just do a little bit. Let's see if they do the same.
Isn't life kind of like a box of chocolates?
I think it's more like a piano. What you get depends on how you play it.
Good to have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
It begins big.
Oh, they got organ.
Day is like a brush.
Damn. That's probably Ben Tench from the Heartbreakers. 'Cause
That-
he's on everything.
That is crazy.
I'm trying to
That's
see if I.
unexpected. We're gonna ruin your Spotify recommendations.
I don't really use Spotify anymore, so it's
Well, it's gonna
fine.
be VeggieTales now.
That's great. I love that.
This one hasn't eclipsed it, but Darius Rucker's cover of Wagon Wheel.
I think it has eclipsed it.
You think?
Yeah.
Old Crow Medicine Show?
I think it has eclipsed it.
Yeah,
I think
wow.
most people that I know would say, especially like people who don't know like country music, say it's Darius
Yeah.
Rucker's version.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
He,
Who
the
don't?
lead singer of Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, I'm really sorry. I have to pee really bad.
That's okay.
You guys got it? Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you got it.
That's one of those. I guess that's too new for me.
Sorry,
Even Mark Wahlberg.
Hootie and the Blowfish, not the Black Crows.
That's pretty different. Yeah.
very
I
different.
feel better about not knowing that now.
Look, I didn't really listen to either of those bands. In the chat, we missed that. My wife pointed out that Dolly Parton sang "I Will Always Love You" in the movie "The Best Little Whorehouse" in Texas.
And then we also got Charles Bradley doing covers. That's a good point because Charles Bradley did a lot of covers and kind of I don't want to say like reinvented the songs, but definitely made them his own. And if you hear those now and you didn't know those other songs exist, you'd be like, oh, that's a good song.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you've listened to his stuff before.
I haven't, but is that similar to what T-Pain just did? Did you know
I
that
don't
he did
know
that?
what he did.
He did a cover of he did a Sabbath tune, like a Black Sabbath song, and there's like auto tune on it and stuff like that.
Oh no, it's not like that. Because Charles Bradley was a like neo soul singer. I think he put out 3 albums. Died a couple years ago, but
Oh shit.
he was focused on like doing a lot of recordings that would like bring money to his family after he knew he was dying. So there's a lot of like weight to it, and he was also like very intentional about like picking songs that like he knew he could do a good job on and like kind of reinvent and own.
Damn. That's crazy.
Guys, I peed.
How
Black
was it?
Magic Woman by Santana. Do you guys know that song?
Yeah.
That's Fleetwood Mac.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, specifically Peter Green
Yeah.
from Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Did you know Bob Dylan wrote All Along the Watchtower?
I did know that.
Well, did know that.
I did not know that.
A jackass in high school told me that.
That's right, Ian. Ian said in the chat the War Pigs cover was what T-Pain did, and it's really good.
So good.
Not going to eclipse the original. But
No. What a crazy good cover, though. What a brilliant thing he did there.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So much fun.
I think that's it. That's all I got for covers that are.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things about covers is like I've talked about this I think last week when we did news. Kind of like there's this big conversation right now in the YouTube and streamer world about people reacting to other people's videos.
Yeah.
And then just re-uploading it as basically the same video, barely commenting on it, just going, whoa, that's crazy. And this is a big commentary. And one of the big things that like makes it that people are saying is like it's okay if you do this if you transform like the content, if you have reactions, if you have commentary, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's a really big thing we could talk about with covers is making something transformative creates like this really, really like it actually changes something, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's you taking a new like take on it.
Makes something fresh, right?
I think there's a fine line though.
Totally. Yeah.
Because in the same way that you were talking before about people wanting to hear their favorite songs, but they might not necessarily don't have access or.
Well, I think it's different if it's a live like environment. If
that's
it's a
what I'm
recorded
saying.
cover. It's like I'd rather hear them like reinvent something, do
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
new. But
Yeah.
if it's a live setting, people are there to see a cover band play because they don't want to go see
yeah.
or it can't.
original music or can't.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to go to these massive venues.
Dallas
to
is
see
scary.
a
Dallas
huge
is
band.
scary. That
Dallas
is
is
true.
very scary.
Well, I think we were saying that as a joke.
I think Dallas is scary. I think driving in Dallas
you're-
specifically.
You're getting older.
No, I've always
It's a
thought
natural state.
that. Driving in Dallas is scary.
It can be, I guess. But I do think that like that's such a line. Like from the very top, I said the thing like the fond memory of Google of YouTubing like metal cover of X pop song, and that's if it was a good one, it was transformative enough. It added something while also still feeling familiar to the reason I love the song TikTok or the reason I love
Right.
there's the Since You've Been Gone, A Day to Remember is still a frequent thing I listen to.
Can we
I think
hear
it's
a
great.
little bit of that? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure I've heard it, but I don't remember.
I'll skip around a little bit on this.
Yeah.
So, it's not like right off the bat, just like I can't fucking.
Oh,
type.
and Sinead O'Connor did Nothing Compares to You, but that's a Prince song.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's- Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll skip around a little bit. It's in a different key at the beginning. Otherwise, it pretty much sounds like the song.
Here's the thing, we started out friends.
So it's like
The kick drum's
It's
weird.
kind of like a straight cover. Yeah.
So yeah, so this starts off like the Since You've Been Gone did with like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like electronic drums and kind of the thing, and then we get a little heavier here.
Snare.
Okay,
What
so
do we know what year this came out?
This was 2005 or 6.
Damn.
Let me check. 2007. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna skip the second verse so you can actually
idiot.
hear like some. I know, dude. What the fuck? Here's some of the metal that is in this. kind of metal. Yeah, it's harmonic.
Yeah, I love that.
It's very, very much like a metal song, but and then the little chugs. Dun, dun.
Yeah.
And here's like where it's like, yeah, this is
Verse 2?
yeah,
That's great. Delay.
yeah. So that's like, to me, they're playing the song, but it's transformative enough to be like, this is not
Yeah.
just them doing Since You've Been Gone. It's in a
Yeah.
new key. It's like they're not just playing the chords. They have riffs. They're singing some of it. They're screaming some of it. It's a new approach to the song.
Yeah, I think another area where the new approaches is really good is like people covering Bob Dylan's music.
Yeah.
Can't get worse. So.
Well, that's the thing, right?
They're good songs, but you know.
Leonard Cohen wrote Hallelujah. But
Right.
my favorite version of
Yeah.
that and the best version is Jeff Buckley's
That's
version.
such
That's a really good example too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Covers have always existed.
Yeah.
They will always exist. Just you got to be tasteful, I think.
I would say they always will exist unless we have some like bad future where record labels decide to make that not possible for normal
Yeah.
people to go do covers, which
Right.
is concerning to me that could be a thing. Like, because
It's-
we're getting
yeah.
to the point, like your point about Winnie the Pooh and going to be public domain, we're getting to the point where all of the like Disney classic things are up for renewal again.
True.
They're not going to
extend
let that
law.
slip through the
No,
cracks,
they've,
though.
they've already extended that law like 4 times.
Yeah.
And it's like we're getting dangerously close to like, oh, just copyright forever that a corporation owns, and that could come over to music, and that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
That is a scary thought.
Because without covers, you wouldn't have, even if it's not something I go seek out, you wouldn't have a lot of potentially plenty of musicians ever even make it because they might get attention from their cover they did of somebody else's
very true.
original song.
Dude, the Weezer's cover of what is it, Africa?
Oh, ABBA's Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
good
crazy.
point. Yeah.
Toto got into the charts again because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very
And
true.
a lot of this generation now, like the generation after us, know who Toto are
Yeah.
because of Weezer,
Yeah.
because they did that whole.
They did like
album.
a covers thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
They
weird
did it-
timeline that's how that wound
I
up.
know.
Yeah. Very strange. Wouldn't
It's
have guessed
super
that.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Ian said the first song I ever played in front of an audience was Lagwagon's version of Bad Moon Rising.
Dude, it's like a punk version.
Oh, is it really?
I remember I was in the audience when he played that. It was at our high school.
Wow.
It was awesome.
That's I mean that again, covers can be awesome. I just think
It's like I think the first part is just regular, and then when it goes to the chorus, it's like don't go around tonight.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's so good. But yeah, I think covers have a really great place, but they can go into a bad place pretty fast if you're not careful. But I think in general, covers are great.
Yeah. There was this version of a Jimmy Eat World song. What's the one in the middle? Is that it just takes some time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you might have been at the same gig where someone else we know covered that song, and the guitar player added an extra chord.
Oh, that's
And
right.
they played
Yeah,
the
yeah.
entire song with that extra chord, and I was like, if you're gonna do a cover, you gotta know the right chord. Sex and Candy was written by Marcy Playground. I'm just thinking about this one now. Maroon 5 covered it, and it might be more
I
popular.
would say bigger than, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so as well.
Yeah. There's so many other things that we're missing. But
Yeah.
we want to talk about what we're listening to?
Let's do it. Let's talk
Right.
about what we're listening to, shall we?
Just because I'll go first. Just because I want to put this out there, I've been listening to the album Second Sight by Hey Rosetta. I feel like once a year I bring up that I've been listening to it, and I think more people should listen to it. So I'm just going to bring it up. And then I've been checking out the band Elbow. Don't really know anything about them. So
Wait, what?
The band Elbow?
Oh, they're great.
I don't know them.
Seldom Seen Kid. Oh
Don't
my
know them.
god, that album is fucking incredible.
I was listening to a little bit of Flying Dream 1 and Giants of All Sizes.
Do Seldom Seen Kid next.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing. It's like, oh, what a fucking great album. Jesus.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, I remember like I was in high school and I got some book from like Barnes & Noble or some shit that was like top 100 albums of all time, and that album was on there, and I was like, sure, I'll check it out, and I fucking love it. It's so good.
Cool.
I've been listening to like truly. It's like I keep doing this thing where I keep going actually back to a lot of stuff I really loved from this year. But instead I'm going to talk about some singles. So Lawrence put out a single called "I'm Confident That I'm Insecure."
Great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's so fucking good.
We listened to it last Friday and
Yeah.
my head exploded.
It's so,
I don't tend to go seek out singles, but I saw that one recommended on Tidal, and I was like, I have to listen to it.
It's absolutely incredible. I didn't mention this on Fun Friday, but a big shout out to Lawrence. Like, huge congratulations to them. Not that they're ever going to hear this, but they're opening for Jonas Brothers on their entire 4-month tour.
That's
Oh,
so
shit.
cool.
The entire 4 months Jonas Brothers is on tour. Lawrence is
so
opening.
they're
for
going to
it.
be a giant deal.
I think the only thing is that I did see video of the first night and it was like pretty empty. But all the Taylor Swift
That'll
openers
change,
have
though.
been doing really
Yeah.
well, and I think that this will, especially if they're doing it for 4 months, they're gonna have.
There's going to be a point where they're going to have a
Yeah.
big enough audience.
Yeah.
So
I would say yes to that 100 times out of 100.
the single, I'm confident that I'm insecure, is amazing, and huge congratulations to them for opening for the Jonas Brothers for 4 fucking months. That's
wild.
absolutely wild. And then I've been listening to the new Olivia Rodrigo song, "Bad Idea," right? I think it's great. It's a little bit like it's interesting how I think her first album was definitely like kind of this like teen girl kind of vibe. I feel like this song belongs on the first album.
The second single?
Yeah. I feel like this song like belongs on her first album, but it's great. Very good song. And I should have mentioned this a couple weeks ago. There's an album called Moments Elsewhere by a band called Johnny Booth. They are an awesome hardcore band. Their first album was produced by Jamie King, who's Between the Buried and Me's producer, and I think this is their third album, maybe fourth. It is awesome. I have a couple things I'm not super into about it, but I do think for any hardcore fans who haven't heard this is a great album, and I think I'm gonna go see him next Thursday at Three Links.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
3 links.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, very excited.
I've been listening to Midlake's live album, Live at Roundhouse, that came out physical release earlier this year and came out digital a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
It's real fun. It's got stuff from all eras of the band,
Yeah.
which kind of was surprising. I didn't know if they would do that, but it's really good, especially if you've liked or listened to Midlake stuff before these past 2 albums.
I wonder who's playing bass on that record.
It's
It's from when they performed live in London last year, so
it really depends
you
on when
might
that
know.
was.
Yeah.
It really
we might know
depends.
who it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't listen to that yet, but I heard really good things. So
yeah, it's fun. It's about an hour, which is a nice like sampling of their career, basically.
Nice.
So I've been listening to that, and then John Baptiste has a new album coming out on Friday that I got to listen to early.
Whoa.
Called World Music Radio, which is great. It's
You fancy
him
pants.
being weird and experimental and very influenced by everything that
Cool.
he has wanted to hear, and feeling very free to express all this and like try new things. He has a bunch of different weird or unexpected maybe features from different artists on there too.
okay,
It's great. I'm
Very
excited
cool.
to listen to it again.
Yeah.
I only got to listen to it once.
we'll
but,
listen to that on Friday then.
yeah.
If we're doing Fun Fridays.
We should.
Okay, great. Anybody got anything else?
No.
All right. September 1st, my band Matthew the Arrogant Sea is releasing our brand new album, and we're doing an album release show at the Kessler here in Dallas. So if you're in the DFW area or even in Texas, anywhere close, come and see us at the Kessler September 1st. It's going to be a great show. Super excited to do this. That's all I have to promote. Yes, I think there's anything else.
And,
Awesome.
And the new single.
Yeah, the new single's out too. It was if you were here at the beginning, you heard it. But the new single, "Strange Couple of Birds," is out. So go give that a listen. It's our last single from the album. It's also the first song I ever learned when I joined the band. So there's that little full circle moment for me. Anyway, that's all to promote. Let's get the fuck out of here, shall
get
we?
outta here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you so much. If you haven't already, please follow or subscribe on whatever podcast app you're using to listen to this. If you're on YouTube watching this right now and you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel, why not? Do it now, please, and thank you. If you're on social media, you can find us, DFTA Podcast on Instagram, Don't Feed the Artist on TikTok. Go follow those pages. There's going to be a lot more content coming your way very, very soon. And if you want to say hi to us, email us at WeLoveCovers at don'tfeedtheartist.com. If there were any covers that you want, that you realize that we didn't mention, that are famous covers, like more famous than the original, send us an email about it.
Or hang out with us on Friday and let us know. We'll listen to them.
Yeah, exactly. You could also drop a comment on the YouTube video, drop a comment, or send us a DM on socials. The final thing is, Every Friday, pretty much, Dave and I do a special stream, Fun Fridays. We've been mentioning it all episode. You can come hang out with us on YouTube live stream on Fun Fridays, probably about 2 or 3, sometimes 4. It changes.
Check our Instagram,
we'll
check
post-
our socials.
We
It's
post
the
when it's-
afternoon.
Yeah. We post when it happens.
It's when album's working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's why he's not here.
Now you can drop we listen to new music like primarily, but if you have anything you want us to listen to and react to, then we'll do that as well. And if you are a local band or a smaller band and you want us to listen to your music on the live stream as well, please feel free to send that our way, whether that be through DMs or during the live stream. We would love to listen to it. And all that good shit.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything else?
Adam,
Adam, what you got?
Do I?
I think there's one more thing for you to say.
Fuck off! Get rid of town!
You got to use the bleep part for that now.
Yeah.
He's got to switch
figure out a way to
pages.
do that.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can.
Yeah. Let's see.
Get rid of town!
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Kind of works.
Yeah, we heard
Kinda
the
works.
pho.
Yeah. Pho.
It's like we got a
Thanks.
real life censor.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.